Alright, I got a Yu Yu Hakusho video today too. Oh, you thought you were just getting Naruto and Bleach. You're getting some Yu Yu Hakusho too. People don't like me saying that, some people. But it's fine. It's all fine because it's an anime that needs light shit on it. It's good. They already made a live action for it, so why not make the reboot next year? That's what I'm saying. 2025, Yu Yu Hakusho come back. And this is a top 10 Yu Yu Hakusho character video as far as the strength goes. Most powerful characters. Top 10 most powerful characters in Yu Yu Hakusho. Starting at number 10. That's Hokushin, the guy who was second in command in the land of Ryzen during like the final parts of the series. He shows up and tells Yusuke that he had to suppress his energy with a little thing, a little device that came from Demon World, all the way down to a E rank demon. Like basically, he had the demon energy of a piece of shit on the ground, but it was suppressed so much because his actual rank as a demon was lower S ranks. Um, he found out real quick. Not Ichigo. Um, Yusuke found out real quick that Hokushin was like on time. He punched him in the face and his head spun around. It's like he's made of like, I don't want to say like Play-Doh, but like silly putty or something like that. He can like he has no bones in his body basically. He's like Mr. Stretch, kind of, um, and it's like you can't damage him really. You have to like really hit him with some like power, Yusuke can and other things. He come to find out he could, and he trained Yusuke in Demon World during the last season of Yu Yu Hakusho. He was a sensei and kind of like a mentor and like the right hand man to Ryzen, basically telling the other guys that the king's asleep. You have to let him sleep. Let him like do this. Let him do that. He got all the other people who were like bald monks around to like calm the fuck down, and he'd call. Um, Number 9 though is Shigure. Shigure fought Hiei and Kurama, and he was on time for both of them. He was able to cut them and even give them like near death experiences almost. At least for like Hiei. They were in an enclosure for Hiei, but Hiei is small, so like he should have like not had to do what he did. Like he cut his arm off and like he got his like abdomen cut through pretty badly. Makuro had to save him after the fight with that guy, but like Shigure, he did get his like this part of his head got cut off, came down. Um, he, he stitched himself back together. Then he had to fight Kurama in the Demon World tournament, and he was like on par. Even Yoko Kurama, he was able to keep up with, and that's a feat too. Because Yoko Kurama was a legendary demon in Demon World. Shigure was the doctor who put the eye in Hiei and other things. He was smart and everything. When he like was defeated by Kurama, he just conceded. He was like, "Warrior doesn't lose twice." He like took his own life basically. He wasn't gonna lose twice and like live with the fact that he lost twice, but he was still strong. I think he was stronger than Hokushin. I have to put respect on his name real quick. That's Shigure from the land of Makuro and shit. But number 8 is Sensui from the chapter Black Ark. See, Sensui was cool and other things. He was a spirit detective before Yusuke, but he saw some shit that wasn't right. He was told that all these demons were bad and other things that they should be destroyed and other stuff. But then he comes to realize that these demons that he was, sworn to destroy were actually going through troubles themselves, and he like had a little like mental breakdown for real. And he was like, you know what? All humans are bad too. I have to like wipe them out and everything. But the whole season 3 was about that. So he did all that, and he even killed Yusuke, and then went to Demon World. He fought uh, Kuwabara, um, Kurama, and Hiei, and before that he fought Yusuke like 2 times. And the second time he killed him, and then when Yusuke came back to life, he was still on par with him when he came back to life, and everybody else couldn't hang with those 2 guys. Only when Ryzen took over Yusuke's body was he able to like defeat Sensui. Sensui had the sacred armor, the sacred energy, which was like it was told that only after 70 years of training you could hone that power. But he had 7 personalities to take 10 years. each of them and train 10 years each personality, and then that's how he was able to obtain that power at age like 20 something and like hold down against like everybody. He was shaking the world and shit with that power. So like I knew he was like had to be on this list, and he's the only human on this list, I think. Yeah, yeah, he's the only human on this list at number 8. Then at number 7, I got Kurama. After enduring everything at the Dark Tournament, getting his powers back as Yoko Kurama, he has the demon seeds that he can put inside people's bodies. If they're not paying attention, then they'll explode, and thorns and shit will come out. Plants will grow from within you. Even the singing tree. He put Elder Toguro into that when he came back in Chapter Black Arc. It ate him because he also in the singing tree gave illusions and other things. He's a demon fox. He plays cunning game. He's a fox, and he was known as the legendary demon of Demon World, a legendary bandit, and he played games with Yomi back in the day and other things. He was actually Yomi's like superior and shit. But over time, Kurama became a human and other things, and he did become weak. And Hiei was able to like sniff that shit out too. He was like, "You became weak, Kurama," but then he started to get his powers back, and Hiei started to be like, "Okay, maybe he ain't like a bitch. He's still that guy." Kurama was like, at the end of that fight with Shigure, he was like, "I never let anything go. It's always a part of me, always." I was like, that sounds like me. People think I change in other things, and I'm not the same guy, and I'm like, no, I'm still the same dude. I just keep moving forward. But Kurama is, powerful at the end of the series. He's like an S-class demon for taking down Shigure, who was also an S-class demon. Um, he had him in like a checkmate situation where the trees of the Okaninju root that he placed there before, and he's a great strategist as well. Kurama is. So he had him like in a checkmate situation. He beat him. But that being said, Hiei's on top of him. Hiei is more ruthless. I feel like even like because that like mentality that Yoko Kurama had when he was younger is not there no more. But Hiei's always had that, always throughout the whole series. Hates humans, hates weak ass demons. He like cuts them down and other things. He enjoys that shit. Um, and he's more of a like he's not like Yusuke where it's like apparent that he wants to fight somebody. It is apparent, but like you have to like poke at him a little bit, like call him short and other things, and he'll be like, "What did you say?" It's like, "Bitch, I'll kill you right here." He's fast. He's probably the fastest demon in Yu Yu Hakusho. Besides like Ryzen and Yusuke. Um, those guys are the only ones who are faster than him. He had that demon form that he only used one time. I'm like, God damn, if they bring that back, they should like, I don't know, they can't do nothing with that. But like, I would love them to bring that eye form that he had when he first appeared, where his body was green and then he had all those eyes on him. That's his true demon form. He was known as the Miko, the child of fire who would destroy the glacial village because he was born from a woman who was an ice apparition. His sister was an ice apparition too, but he was a male of fire, and that was like the opposite of what his people were. They were all females and shit, and he was the only guy. They had to like throw him away and other things, and that's why he's like so like hateful towards people, or seems that way. But he always comes to save his friends and other things. It's apparent for people who watch his actions and other stuff, like Yusuke. Um, he's there with the Dragon of the Darkness flame. I almost forgot about that move. He killed some people in the Dark Tournament with that move, put them in the ground with that move. Um, Makuro was just, and she's at number 5, Makuro. Um, the demon Makuro, she was a slave and other things. She had to train real hard to become one of the 3 demon lords in Demon World. She like she was fighting with handcuffs on. Like this bitch had her like hands tied, and she was running up on demons, like bashing their heads in and shit like that. And like for years and shit until she became like a ruler. And then for a long time they didn't know who she was because she had her like mask covered and shit. And if you watch it, you'll be like, that's a guy. Like it's so like demonic voice. Like that. Makuro had the most demonic voice out of all the demons in Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like not a debate for real. He she was that, but then she took off her mask and everything, and they were like, "What the?" We were getting, we were being led by a woman this whole time, and we didn't know. Um, she had like all kind of moves. She was able to stop the Dragon of the Darkness Flame and defeat Hiei during the tournament. And then she fought some other demons too, and was able to. Um, Man, she got like, she was a not the runner up. She was like in the quarterfinals or something like that. Makuro was, uh, but she was definitely a problem while she was there. Um, and then Yusuke's at number 4. Yusuke is the main character. He, of course, he's gonna be on the list. Powerful, hot-headed. He's a fist fighter. Spirit gun, spirit wave. He has Genkai spirit orb that he absorbed during the martial arts tournament. Not the martial arts tournament. Goddamn, the dark tournament. My bad. I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z for a second. But yeah, he was cool with that shit. He had he had them on like fucking time. Um, like nobody was, Tagore was a problem. He stepped up to that. Sensu was a problem. He died and then stepped up to that with his demon energy, his new unlocked demon energy. And then Yomi, even though he lost to Yomi, he like gave him a great fight and also like made it so Yomi wasn't the one to be crowned king of Demon World, because after that fight, Yomi was like too fucking tired to like fight anybody else. He like gave his all during that fight, just like Yusuke did. Yusuke was just young. He's like 14, 15 years old by that point in the series. And Yomi was a demon from like, he had many, many of years. And he was like already a demon of Demon World. Just to stand in the ring with that guy was like a feat alone. But he was able to like go toe to toe with him and like last for a while. I got him at number 4. I could have him at number 3, but the guy I have at number 3, I got Enki at number 3. That is one of Ryzen's old friends, and he's the guy who became leader of Demon World after the Demon World tournament was over, came to a close. I do think he's stronger than Makuro and stuff. I feel like his power, and it's shown too. Um, it's his aura is red, and he's like big demon, so like it's very destructive. He like pounds shit into the ground. He's more of a melee fighter and stuff. A little slower than Yusuke and the people below him and shit. But like his like strength and power when he fucking hits somebody is just like his close range skills. Like if you got hit by him, you would be feeling some pain. I could tell just by and he's a deceptive demon as well. He's like kind of friendly, dumb, big dumb friendly guy. But you poke him and shit, you get those fucking horns that he has. That's Enki. He became the ruler of Demon World after the Demon World tournament was over with. Um, I think he was the one who defeated Makuro. I think. Um, yeah, I think so. That's what Kurama said. And then at number 2, I have Yomi, because I feel like Yomi would still be able to beat him because of this, the intelligence he has. Um, Yomi became intelligent because of Kurama. He learned a lesson from Kurama that you can't trust everybody. Your eyes can deceive you and shit. He had to hone his skills with his eyes. He lost sight in his eyes because Kurama sent somebody after him to make him go blind and other things, so he wouldn't go like run around and steal shit without him. But um, he became a demon of Demon World and amassed an army that was like very powerful, rivaling Makuro and Ryzen too. He was the big threat during that arc because he was making moves towards Human World and Spirit World, and he wasn't gonna stop until he had control of all of it. And he also had a son that he fought in the tournament that was pretty powerful too. Like I could have put him on the list too, honestly, but he lacked experience in other things. He literally came out of his like incubation tank the day, like 3 days. It took 3 days for him to like be born, basically, and he was already like fighting and other things. Um, Yomi was just way more powerful, and he Yusuke pushed him, and they both pushed each other during that fight. Like basically 4, 3, and 2 could be like rearranged, however, but I think Yomi's number two, and of course Ryzen's number one. Um, it was known that he was the strongest demon in Demon World too, known as the Muzaku and other things. He ran around during the Edo period or whatever, like the time when demons and humans ran around, and he was like known and other things. But he fell in love with a woman, and he swore never to eat humans again. But he was still able to, for like thousands of years, able to fight against Makuro and Yomi to like keep them off of his land and shit. Like stay off my, this is my land and shit. You ain't gonna like fuck with it. I might not be eating humans anymore like you guys are, but I can still whoop your ass. You know, and he also gave Yusuke power and the ability to stand for and not no to live for something more than himself. That's what Ryzen was there for. Yusuke come to find out that he was doing all that fighting, so not just for himself because he was a hothead and he loved like to do shit, but mostly to protect his friends and shit. That was what he had to learn. Like why he was like, why am I here in Demon World? Why am I here fighting and other things? It was because he loved Keiko, he loved all his friends, and he didn't want Human World to be destroyed. That's why he went there ultimately, but he didn't like know that going in. He needed to find that out himself by like fighting Ryzen and like learning from him and his past and other things. But yeah, Ryzen's number one in Yu Yu Hakusho as far as strongest characters go. That's Hokushin at number 10, Shigure at number 9, Sensui at number 8, Kurama at number 7, uh, Hiei at number 6, Makuro at number 5, Yusuke at number 4, NK at number 3, and Yomi at number 2, and Ryzen at number 1. And say, cool, go on the corner.